Hi, and welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin V. This is DZS News for the week of April 26th, 2021. I'm your co-host, Stephen.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. Let's get started, as always, with some Detroit Zoological Society updates. Stephen, what do we have this week?
Well, to get started, we have some really exciting news from the Detroit Zoo. The Detroit Zoo has welcomed a baby Japanese macaque. Now, this baby is about 2 or so weeks old. And if you do visit the zoo, the best way to see him or her is to look for the adult snow monkey who has what looks like something kind of hanging onto her chest, because that's how baby snow monkeys get transported.
I caught a glimpse the other day. The only reason I saw him or her, and we don't know yet if it's a boy or girl, is because Mom, who is Madeline, I believe, was walking around on 3 legs while all the rest of the snow monkeys were walking around all 4, but she had her arm tucked up around the infant. So I did catch a little tiny glimpse, and I'm very excited to go out and check again here soon to see if I can get a better view. A reminder that we are still searching for our next mayor of Amphibiville. If you are a young person aged 7 to 12 or know someone who is, please encourage them to check out our website, DetroitZoo.org, for more information about this fantastic opportunity. We are searching for someone here, and the due date is coming up pretty rapidly. So if you know someone, it's a short essay, about 100 words. Tell us why you'd like to be the next mayor of Amphibiville, and what you know about frogs and what you'd like to learn about them. And we'd love to have some more submissions.
And I should say, this is a great way to get into politics. You don't need to have held a political office before you apply. So in fact, I believe the previous mayor of Amphibiville, this was her first term in any office.
It was.
So, and she actually stayed on for a second term. So great way to get started in that political career.
Very true, very true. Good point.
Next up, we have an update. Over the weekend, some members of the DZS staff and some volunteers participated in a Belle Isle shoreline cleanup. And we collected over 60 pounds of trash. And the trash was things like food wrappers, bottles, construction materials, lots of different things. But the great part is that all 60 pounds of those will not be going into the Lake Muscadet, to potentially harm animals. So just a great experience. I was out there, Claire was out there as well with your family. And what did you think of it?
We had a great time. I mean, the weather held out. We were nervous earlier in the week if it was going to be raining on us. We were going to come regardless. But I brought my 2 daughters and my mom. We had a great time. If you ever want kids to clean up things, I found all you need to do is get them like one of those picker up things with like the little tongs on the end. The novelty of those was still going on after about an hour of picking up trash. So, I mean, all you parents out there, here's your secret. Just get some tongs and maybe their rooms will be clean.
And one other thing about that is that our curator, one of our curators of education who focuses on citizen science projects, Mike Reed, he was out there coordinating this. And rather than just picking up the trash, he had us pick up trash and then record what kind of trash it was. And the idea here is that if we have an understanding of what the most, as he called it, trending trash is, then we can think about where that comes from and what actions we can take to prevent it from getting into the waterways. So stay tuned, because later on, maybe in a few weeks, we'll do another story about what that trending trash was and ways that we can help minimize it.
Yeah, that part was really fascinating. My second grader really got into that and documenting what type of trash it was and how much. And it was really fascinating, because I mean, it's good to clean up, but it is really good to know where that source of the trash is coming from to potentially limit that and prevent future cleanups. So we both really enjoyed sorting through all of it and doing all those tally marks. So it'd be great to share out that data once we get everything in from everybody. All right, everyone, we have one more week for the Earth Week Eco Challenge. And just as a reminder, these are opportunities to help the planet. We're asking you to commit to one action every day for a week, and then share that experience with us at education@dzs.org. And we'd love to feature you in an upcoming DZS news story. A couple suggestions of action items could be to only eat plant-based meals, maybe reduce how much time you're spending in the car, limit how long you're in the shower, spend some time outside, lots of different ideas, or please come up with your own. Just share them with us at education@dzs.org, because we'd love to share that information out with the rest of the community.
One thing that we'd really encourage you all to do is to keep a little journal. It doesn't have to be a formal journal, but maybe just a word processing document or just a note card. But how is it going? Because in addition to just taking this action, I think one of the really cool things about a challenge like this is that it opens up dialogue about what was challenging, what was easy, and helps us all realize that we're all in this together on, as we say, our green journey. And we can share we're a team. We can share feedback, we can compare notes and help each other out.
All right, Stephen, I am excited for our update on what's going on up on the Detroit Zoo water tower.
Thanks, Blair. So let's check out last week on Peregrine Heights. All right, and we continue on with Animal Cam Plays of the Month. And as a reminder, this is a way for us to feature some of the animals who live at the Detroit Zoo participating in what we refer to as species-specific behaviors. These are behaviors that they would engage in the wild, and it's a sign that their habitats are allowing them to thrive and have great welfare here at the Detroit Zoo. So enjoy the footage.
Here we go, it's the Animal Cam Plays of the Month. Starting off at number 3 with ring-tailed lemur standing jumps. This first jump is pretty cool, but let's take a look at the top left corner of the screen. A third lemur will do an incredible standing broad jump. Great work. And on the right of the screen in the back, the lemur will do, there we go, it's a standing high jump. Again, quite incredible. Moving on to number 2, this is either Mike, Boo, or Thor doing grizzly bear powerlifting. He's going to be pushing this tree branch all the way to the ground as many times as he can before getting fatigued. Looks like he's getting a little bit, oh, there's another one. He is pushing through the tiredness. Can he get one more? Not quite there. You can do it. There we go. Excellent job. And finally, number 1. Number 1 is Chimpanzee Gymnastics. This is Zane. Now, Zane is about a year old and has just taken a strong proclivity to gymnastics. He's grabbing a snack here to make sure he doesn't get fatigued. Here he is in the vertical climb. Look how he uses all of his limbs to get up there and then slide back down. Next up is the diagonal climb, and again, using all of the limbs to move up that tree branch and transfer over before sliding back down. Now, this final part is the posing part, and look at how he is just showing how strong he is. Nice job, Zane. You are very strong.
All right, Claire, back to you for our feature story.
All right, we've been showing you updates for months now, and we are very, very pleased to share with you all that Solaire has moved into his new habitat. And our team was there to capture the footage. They brought Solaire in a transportation crate and released him near one of the keeper access doors. And he took a little bit of time to come out of the crate, but then started exploring the habitat. And our footage shows that he explored just about every corner of that habitat space in that first day. He came out, explored that first side, had a little snack. He also explored the heated cave area that has those warming lights on him. He spent some time sunning himself in there. He even took a swim in that fantastic, very large new pool. So he spent a lot of time exploring. He seems to be settling in well. And there was quite a few people at the event as Solaire moved into the space, including a lot of our veterinary care staff, all of our reptile care staff, including our Center for Zoo and Aquarium Animal Welfare and Ethics team. They've been monitoring his well-being while he's been in an off-habitat space, and now they'll continue monitoring his behavior now that he's moved in, and we'll share that information as it becomes available. But he seems to have received his new habitat very well. We're very excited about it.
This was such wonderful footage to watch, and just, I don't know, there's something so, I guess, grounding or centering about this. Just watching him really enjoying this space and just noticing all of the features. And, you know, if you really think about putting yourself into his perspective and just the excitement that he must be experiencing right now with all of these different ways to engage in those species-specific behaviors that we've been referring to.
And it really shows a lot about his personality too. I mean, some individuals, like humans, right? Some individuals are more shy, some are more adventurous. I mean, obviously Solaire has a little bit more of an adventurous personality, it seems, because he did come out and explore all those different spaces in a completely brand new environment to him. So that's been really neat to watch and just kind of understand how each animal is different in their own ways and how they exhibit those differences. So yeah, and the habitat looks amazing. So we can't wait to share that out with the community once the building opens up here sometime in the next several weeks. We'll be sure to give you information on that when that happens.
I just wanted to give a big congratulations to our life sciences team, especially the reptiles team, who made this project happen and, really just held out for making sure it was the best possible habitat, as well as for our construction team who was able to put this idea and make it reality. So congratulations and thank you. And Solaire might not be able to thank you with human words, but I am quite confident that he's very appreciative as well.
All right, Stephen, what do we have this week for our virtual education program preview?
Well, as always, getting started today, Monday, we have DZS News, episode 17. We're getting close to a full year now. We're still about a month or so away, but we're getting there.
We have to plan like a big celebration for 1 year of DZS News. On Tuesday morning, we're going to be bringing you a Saving Wildlife episode, and this is focusing on the peregrine falcons who have been nesting up on the Detroit Zoo's water tower since that nesting box was installed back in 2017. We have some great information to share with y'all, so be sure to tune in if you're watching them closely on the live cams right now.
On Wednesday, the virtual habitat chat will be on World Migratory Bird Day. Now, this was kind of a fun one because we typically think of zoo habitats as habitats where maybe exotic animals live, but the zoo actually, by being this huge green space, provides this wonderful habitat for local wildlife too. So it's always fun to think about that, and this episode will highlight that.
And on Thursday, we're going to be doing Green Journey, focusing on Arbor Day. We'll talk a little bit more about all the plants that are coming into the zoo and all the trees and how they support all those migratory birds as well as other species that Stephen was just talking about.
And then finally on Friday, Citizen Science Month will continue with an episode on kokoras. And I'll be honest, I have heard you say this before. I have no idea what it stands for, though.
Well, you have to tune in on Friday morning then.
Wait, really? You're going to leave?
I am. I'm going to leave you hanging. This is one of the longest acronyms I've seen in a long time. So I'm going to keep the intrigue there to get everybody to come back on Friday morning and learn about the Citizen Science Project. This is one of the more popular citizen science projects out there. So be sure to tune in and check out more to see what kokoras really stands for.
Okay, so you'll find out what kokoras is, and it is one of the most exciting. So everyone's got to tune into this, including
right.
So next up, just to remind everybody that in addition to our virtual vitamin Z offerings that we share on our social media, we also have on the Belle Isle Nature Center's website a great resource called Virtual Backyard. And especially as spring is moving on and turning into summer, it's great ideas for how you can create habitats for wildlife in your backyard or in really any green space around you. So definitely check those videos out if you haven't already.
And we have a new resource, and this is really kind of targeted towards teachers, but there's a lot of information on there that could be valuable to anyone in the community who is interested in doing more with citizen science. If you go to our education tab and down to teacher and professional development, there's a link there for science in the classroom and at home, talking about a variety of different citizen science projects. And it's got, it features different projects about animals, plants, and the environment, as well as some extra resources. So if you're looking to get into anything citizen science focus, be sure to check that out. Like I said, a ton of great resources on how to do projects, a lot of global connections. So how our citizen science work here locally actually impacts scientists who are working regionally, nationally, and even internationally. And all of your help can support that on a global scale. So it's a really neat project. Be sure to check it out on the website. There's even a little resource in there where you can communicate with us about some of the stuff that you're working on, or if you get hung up with your citizen science adventures. So we would love to have you stop by and check out that resource.
All right, everybody, that's all for this week on DZS News. As always, stay healthy, Detroit.